Well, if you're in the market to buy a new home, it might be tempting to take advantage of some of the foreclosures out there, thinking you can get a good deal. It's true, you could, but there are some things you need to take into account first. Here to explain is our real estate expert, Monte Mohr. Monte, welcome back.
Thanks, great to be here.
You've always had lots of good information for us today, and today is no different. So.
This is a tricky topic. You know, it's not like buying a regular home, and I want to make sure that everybody understands. That's why I'm breaking it down like I am today.
Right, so some important things to think about before you do that. So our question actually comes from John and Jennifer from Nashville. They write in and say, we've been watching you on Channel 4 and feel we can trust you. We are first-time buyers and want to take advantage of this great time to purchase a home. Can you tell us step by step what to do and what to expect in the process of buying a distressed property? So what would you say there?
Well, first of all, it's the very first thing that you've got to do is you've got to go to the bank and make sure you qualify for what you're looking for. A foreclosed property, a bank, in other words, will not even consider looking at your offer if you don't have an approval letter with you at the time of that offer. And the financing world has changed. That's one of the reasons why you want to sit down with your banker first. And if you don't have a favorite lender, contact me. I'm glad to share some numbers that I recommend.
Okay, so you got to get approved first.
Correct.
Now, secondly, you say understand the differences between a short sale and a foreclosure.
Casey, they're approached differently. You know, a foreclosure, the bank knows what they have invested. They know what their bottom line is in the property. They have a chart that shows what they can sell the property for in a certain amount of time. And believe it or not, the longer that home's on the market, the less they can take for it. But they're dealing with a known number. With a short sale, it's anybody's guess. You know, in other words, in a foreclosure situation, you can get an answer, expect an answer within a couple of days. On a short sale situation, you might take a month or longer just to get a response from the bank. When the agent puts the house on the market in a short sale situation, we're guessing what the bank will take. There's nothing for sure.
Right.
Now, you can get a good deal if you're patient, but if you've got a lease coming up in the next 30 days and you've got to get out, don't fool with a short sale.
Right, that makes sense.
So it's really important to understand the difference betenn the two.
Okay, some key differences, because a lot of people, the lines kind of blur for some people.
They do.
When you say short closure,
we think distressed properties are distressed properties, but until the bank owns it, they don't know what they have invested, they don't know what they'll take. And they don't deal with the situation until there's an offer on the table, which is frustrating as well, because nothing happens until there's somebody wanting to buy the property.
Right, good information. All right, number 3, you say always make the offer subject to a satisfactory inspection. Never buy a distressed property without one. Now, why is that? Well,
the bank is going to make sure that they have no connections to the property once you buy it. They're not making any warranties or guarantees whatsoever. They're going to have you sign off that you are accepting this property in as-is condition. There's nothing wrong with that if you've gotten a thorough inspection first and make sure the utilities are on and so forth to do so. Back in the day, when you bought a foreclosed property, you bought it as is without any utilities on. And I'll never forget one time some folks that had bought a property, we thought they got a really good deal. Once they got the water turned on and found out none of the sinks would drain, we found out the former owners had dumped concrete down the sinks just to be mean to they thought they were getting back at the bank, but they were getting, you know, they were hurting the new owners.
Right.
And this home was on a slab, so you can imagine what kind of mess it was to dig up all that concrete to replumb the property.
I can't imagine.
So it's really, really important to get a thorough inspection before you ever buy a distressed property or any property.
Right, really good information there. Okay, lastly, you say learn to be flexible in your approach. So tell us more about this. You say you're not dealing with a human being that would show common sense in the process. You've got to be patient.
You do, and that's one of the things that I see happen more and more and more is people think because the market is the market, you would think that a bank would respond like any motivated seller, but it doesn't work that way. You know, it depends on how many files are sitting on that person's desk and what bank you're dealing with and all that their latest policy is. There's so many variables, and people say, well, if they don't respond tomorrow, I'm going to pull the offer or whatever. The bank doesn't care. They just don't care.
Right.
And so you have to start the process with the mindset is, I've got plenty of time, I'm looking for a good deal, I'm going to approach this methodically. I'm not going to approach it emotionally.
Right.
And that's the best way. All I can tell you is you'll save a lot of heartache if you don't expect anything as normal as routine common sense coming from a bank. And I don't want to sound rude, but that's just the way it is.
And patience, of course,
is key.
You gotta
really
have that.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're in a situation where you can have that kind of patience.
Exactly.
Okay, and happy customers, we have some every week.
We do. We've got some wonderful people here. We were able to help them buy a home that was $50,000 under assessed value. Now this is an example of a short sale. They were patient. They were very methodical in their approach. And bless their hearts, they got a fantastic deal. And this is one This is one of the couples that calls me Uncle Monte, and I love them dearly. They're awesome people.
We love that. That really shows how much you care about them.
I truly do. I really, truly do.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Monte.
Thank
Good
you for the
information
privilege.
today.
My pleasure.
Hey, if you need help buying or selling your home, call the Mohr Group at 615-376-4500, or to reach Monte directly, you can call 615-300-8393. We also have a link to the website, NashvilleRealEstateAdvisor.com. That's up on the More at Midday section of WSMV.com.